Hi, this is Raj from MR Sportscars. In this episode of Diary of Porsche Specialist, I'm going to be looking at this particular car, which is a 981 GTS Boxster. It's a 2015 car, so sort of in the middle of production. I've never had one of these cars, so I wanted to do a quick video on how it drives, how it feels versus the 981 Boxster S's I'm usually stocking. So the background to this car is it was brought in at around 2014 to sort of provide a slightly more enhanced experience of the Boxster, which was already incredible, and that's why I stock so many of them, the 3.4 litre, especially the flat six. This car basically took the best bits of the Boxster S and raised it up a notch in the engine department. So from memory, it's around 10 or 12 horsepower more, not a huge amount, and a little bit more torque, I think 8 foot-pounds of torque or something. So it raises the peak power to mid 320, so 326, 327, something like that. Which doesn't sound like much because the standard car has 315. Doesn't make a huge difference in the overall numbers, but in that essentially remap, they improved the responsiveness of the engine, the power delivery throughout the rev range, so it makes it feel more responsive and alive. In terms of what else they did, a lot of it is actually very similar. I mean, everything like the hood is identical, the hood mechanism, it works in the same way, all of the interior is the same. The equipment levels, however, are higher as standard. So in the GTS package, you got things like the Sport Chrono Package Plus, PADM, so the active drivetrain mounts, the sports exhaust, which you can hear, hopefully. You could, I think the sport design steering wheel with the bigger paddles for the PDK, that was standard as well. And manual, I think it also came with the steering wheel as well. Those bits could also be no cost option. They were in Alcantara, or you could have them in leather. This particular car has them in leather, so it's very much like the Boxster S models that I deal with a lot. Sports seats, I think, were included. Looking else, there was the option for fixed sport suspension, which was 20mm lower than standard. You could, however, pay for PASM switchable suspension, which this car has, so it's only 10mm lower than standard rather than the full 20mm, which makes it a bit more usable. And on the outside, you got a different body kit, so the front and rear bumpers were different. You got a rear splitter, more pronounced at the back, and you got an actual lower air dam at the front, which actually increased the length of the car, I think, by 30mm. It's quite a sizable, sort of chunkier bumper with bigger air inlets at the sides. And then you got things like all the exterior plastics were painted. The front lights were black edged, and it's really slippery, but just can't resist doing that in that little tunnel that I use. As I was saying, all the exterior plastics were painted black, and the rear lights were smoked rather than red. Still the same LEDs and PDLS front lights with the black surrounds. And then wheels, they came with the 20-inch optional wheels as standard. This one's got the Carrera S3, I think they're called, which look really, really lovely. They look a bit like the Cayman R and Boxster R, Boxster Spider wheels from the previous generation, 987 Gen 2. But yeah, these immediately, this car with that engine enhancement and all the other bits like the Sport Chrono sports exhaust, this car just feels hooked up and ready to be enjoyed as soon as you touch the throttle. But yeah, love it. Absolutely love how this feels. in all honesty, it doesn't feel a huge amount different to the Boxster S, as you'd expect, with only that small power increase. And typically the Boxster S's I get have a lot of these options, so like the PASM, chrono, sports exhaust, this nicer sport design steering wheel with the PDK box. So to me, it's not a huge amount more in absolute terms to a 981 Boxster S, because those cars are incredible. I'd say they're about 95% of this experience. But that engine enhancement does make a difference, and obviously the fact that it is a GTS, it is that sort of higher level model with the additional styling, the slightly more aggressive styling, it does have its own unique special place in the range, and I do love it. It's sort of, for me, it's more than the sum of its parts in how it elevates the Boxster driving experience. So if you're in the market for one, I would definitely suggest at least trying it back to back with a Boxster S if you can, and you may well say, well, I'd rather save a little bit of money and get the Boxster S rather than the GTS. Or you might say, well, you know what, this is my fun weekend car, full stop. It's going to be in the garage, it's going to be enjoyed on great touring journeys and stuff, so I want the GTS. And both have their place and both are justified. I love both, and I will still carry on selling the Boxster S's that I do. Occasionally I'll have a GTS like this. This one's lovely. It's in Carrara white metallic, so it's like a pearl white exterior with black wheels with a silver edge from the factory. It's only done 20,000 miles. It's full Porsche main dealer service history, and it's actually got Porsche warranty until August 2023, I think. So yeah, sensational, just unbelievable. I just love these Boxsters so much. Sounds so ferocious. But the touch of the button, you can make it very docile as well. So it really is the best of both worlds. Such a beautiful day, but it's so cold. It's around 5 degrees, but it was frosty overnight, so in the shade it's still icy. So I am being very careful, even though it may not seem that I am holding back a little bit. I do a lot of driving, so I know these cars very well. I also do a lot of sim driving and driving on track in my own cars. I have got a National B race license, which I got a few years ago from Silverstone. So I do love driving cars properly, normally on track though, or on my sim. On the road, I just sort of enjoy them within the safe margins of road driving. What a beautiful sounding car. Just can't get enough of it. And it's just so usable. 326 or 7 horsepower, it's just so usable with this mid-engine layout. very low centre of gravity, and you feel right in the middle of it, perfectly balanced. You can feel where the car is at any moment. So I hope you've enjoyed this insight into the 981 Boxster S. Feel free to comment, like and share this video. Thanks for watching.